Hello friends, welcome to this session. Today we are discussing the pressure difference across a curved surface. When the free surface of liquid is plane, a molecule in the surface is attracted by other liquid molecules equally in all directions. Consequently, the resultant force due to the surface tension is zero. But if the liquid surface is curved, there is a resultant force of surface tension, which are normally to the surface. For a convex liquid surface, this resultant force is directed inwards to the interior of the liquid surface. It acts outward away from the surface. Hence, for the equilibrium of liquid surface, curved surface, there must be a pressure difference across it. And then the resultant force due to the surface tension will be balanced by the excess of pressure force acting on the concave side. Here, if we have a curved surface, liquid surface, which is at rest, then the inward pressure on it due to surface tension must be balanced and equal excess of pressure outward acting on the concave side. Let ABCD be the small curvilinear rectangle of the curved liquid surface. Its sides AB having the length x and the radius curvature r1 with the center O1, and the side BC is of the length y and the radius of curvature r2 with the center at O2. Clearly, AO1 is equal to BO1 and that is equal to R1, and the radii of curvature is called as a principal radii. So this principal radii of curvature of the area of the rectangle ABCD is XY. So BO2 is equal to CO2 and equals to R2. So these R1 and R2 are the principal of radii of the curvature. So area of the rectangle ABCD is equal to XY. The excess pressure on the concave side be a P when the liquid surface is at rest. The outward force on the element ABCD is equal to P dot XY. Suppose the force is expanded by giving an infinitesimal area, that is very small, normal displacement with del z or delta z. So some expansion takes place, that is the A to A dash, B to B dash, C to C dash and D to D dash with a delta z. So small displacement is there, and so that it occupies the new position, that is the A dash, B dash, C dash. So work is done, and that work is done by the excess pressure P. So we can write the W is equal to force into displacement. So what is the force? The force is nothing but P dot XY. And what is the displacement? With the small elemental area, that is A to A dash or B to B dash or C to D C dash or D to dash, and that is delta Z. So we can write P dot XY cross delta Z. So if x plus delta x and y plus delta y be the lengths of A dash, B dash and B dash, C dash respectively, then increase in the length or increase in the area of the liquid surface under the consideration, we can write x plus delta x y plus delta y. Here by mistake I am writing the x, so it is a delta y minus xy. So the product of del x and del y is negligible, or it is very small quantity, so it has been neglected, and we get x delta y plus y delta x. So this is the increase in the surface energy, and that is equal to the work done. That work done is nothing but in expanding the surface by excess pressure. Hence the equation 1 can be written as the surface tension with x del y plus y del x. So this increase in the surface energy is nothing but the surface tension into increase in area. Then we just the increase in the area, that is the pxy into delta z is equal to t into x delta y plus y delta x. So we get p is equal to t into 1 by y delta y by delta z plus 1 by x delta x by delta z. Now from similar triangles ABO1 and A dash B dash O1. So what we get? We have A dash B dash divided by AO1, A dash O1 is equal to AB by AO1, or AB is what? X plus delta x by R1 delta z is equal to x by R1. Since A dash O1 is equal to AO1 plus A dash is equal to R1 delta z. So when you are taking we get this equation. So we can rearrange it. So x plus delta x by x is equal to R1 delta z by R1, or 1 plus delta x by x is equal to 1 plus delta z by R1. Now delta x by x is equal to delta z by R1. So 1 by x delta x by delta z, since we get 1 by x delta x by delta z 1 by R1. Similarly the triangles BCO2 and B dash C dash O2, we get 1 by y delta y by delta z is equal to 1 by R2. These two values, 1 by R1 and 1 by R2, substitute in the equation 3. So we get the pressure, excess pressure is equal to T into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So if one of the curvature is convex and the other is concave, the radii of curvature R1 and R2 are opposite sign. Thus in such case we get P is equal to T 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So combining these two equations 4 and 5, we may write the general relation as the P is equal to T into 1 by R1 plus or minus 1 by R2. If instead of liquid surface there are two surfaces of film or membrane, then excess of pressure is given by P is equal to twice of tension into 1 by R1 plus or minus 1 by R2. This is equation number 7, and this 6 and 7 holds for all the surfaces. So some few cases are there. Suppose we are taking a single spherical surface such as that of liquid drop or an air bubble inside the liquid. So we have two radius of curvature R1 and R2, and that are R, because a single spherical surface is considered. So the pressure is equal to T into 1 by R plus 1 by R, because we are taking R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R. So we get twice of tension divided by R. Suppose in case of spherical film which has two surface such as a soap bubble. So what happens? The two tensions are there. Already we get the 2T by R. But here in the surface soap bubble, the two tensions are there. Due to the two surface tension, we get the soap solution, soap bubble, two spherical film. So we get P is equal to 2 into 2T by R, that is 4T by R. Suppose we are taking a cylindrical surface. So what is the R1? R1 is equal to R. And what about the R2? We don't know, it is infinite. Hence for the one surface, P is equal to 2 into 1 by R plus 1 by infinity. So we get the excess pressure is equal to T by R. But if you are taking the two surfaces, then we get the 2T by R. Now the another condition is that suppose we are taking the catenoid. If the surface is one of revolution with no difference of pressure, the surface is catenoid. Catenoid was the surface is one of revolution with no difference of pressure. The surface is catenoid. So here the pressure is 0. So 1 by R1 plus or minus 1 by R2 is equal to 0. So an example of such surface is that of soap film supported to between the two parallel rings, and the ends of the film are brushed so that P is equal to 0. So this is the excess pressure, the expression for excess pressure on a curved surface with their cases. In next session we discuss the excess pressure inside a spherical drop, or excess pressure inside air bubble in a liquid, or excess pressure inside a soap bubble. So with the help of these we can solve all these three cases. So I hope you understand this excess pressure of curved surface. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you very much.